Back already. So I was playing in a video the cars and the hitboxes and the reason why and what to pick. I explained in the next video what the limits of the arena are, how important they are, how to use it, and how fast. And then in the other video I explained how to use the boost and try to get the maximum potential out of boost management. And this video, we're still not gonna go into gameplay, because before you start gameplay, it's also important to know what to play and how to play it. Because if you play something with the wrong intention or the wrong setting or the wrong motivation, you're just gonna screw yourself. That's what it is. Now, I'm just gonna roll over the options first. Unless coincidentally I'm starting a tournament. Tournaments are the most competitive form of playing the game. So it's the highest competitive form of play for a random player if you're not a member of Discord servers or Rocket League tournament or league organizers. So as soon as I started playing the game, I'm a tournament player in any game that I play. So if there's tournaments, I will join just to measure with other players. And it's just that step above competitive play, which mostly always results in better players, more focused players, warmed up players, players that have more serious intentions than even just normal competitive matches, which shouldn't be the case, but that's another point. Blame that on Epic or Rocket League itself. So the same goes for like a rumble. If you do a rumble, the players tend to be more serious than if you play a drop shot or just a casual match. Okay, so you're new to the game, you have no idea. You get these options. Casual, that means it's not serious. You can goof around, you can do anything you want. Apparently, they put a penalty on if you leave the game, which is totally against the casual concept, but anyway. Besides from that, if you don't leave matches, you can do whatever you want. You can just train and try new things, crazy things, impossible things, or you can just try to be serious and try to be the most competitive player, or you try to get to that competitive mindset so you can warm up, and then if you feel that you are handling the game, you can go into competitive. So that's a warm up. But you can also just have a personal warm up. Then you got other options. Now there's training and there's warm up. And it's not the same. The difference between a training and a warm up is that in a training, you're gonna try to train new things. You're gonna try to make muscle memory for new moves that you're trying to get under control, trying to get the ball under control, handling those new moves. And in a warm up, you're actually gonna try to get to the competitive level that you need to compete. And so you're gonna warm up using things you already know because that gives you more confidence and that will be your base for your play in the play that is coming. So if you're gonna try crazy things in your warm up, like air dribbles that you never manage to control, then you're just gonna result in a match that you're gonna not be ready for the basic plays. So the most used option for this is the free lobby, of course. So again, if I'm warming up, I'm trying to do the, okay, for me it's pull it off, but if you can pull it off and you're struggling with those, then there's no use in trying to warm up with it. You got no control. So I'm just wasting my time. So what we do, you should just try to get the hang of the control of the car, where you're driving, what speed, and try to stay closer to the ball. Maybe try to treble. Try to get some hard sit on it. Try to get some pinches on it. Just try, warm up should be basic. Whatever the basic is for you. If your basic is aerials, then that's your basic. If you're in silver or gold, you're just trying to hit the ball. If you're in gold or black, you're trying to get hard hits. Also important is just trying to judge the hits on the ball. So even if you're going to sleep, next day wake up and you're gonna warm up for your new play, it's not only the hitting that's important, it's how the ball reacts with the ball and your judgment of the ball and how the ball reacts. So that bounce there, that's those things in warm up. See, I missed the ball. How the ball comes at you like this, how you're gonna hit it. And those are a lot more important than just practicing things that I'm not actually good enough at to pull them off 100% of the time. Which also probably goes for a lot of basic shots, and then nobody ever scores 100% even if you're seeing open goals. So that's the difference between warm-up and training. You have your training packs here, and those are repetitive maneuvers that you always repeat and keep doing the same, and that's easier to build your muscle memory because that will form your basic line of where your other lines are gonna be calculated on. And that's when I explained about the lines of the boosts on the field. So you follow the lines of the boost, and then your brain will also calculate all the lines you need that go off from the basic lines that are in between the normal lines, and that's the trick. So the better your basic pattern is, the easier it is for your brain to calculate all the other different side paths. So if you go in adjust and training packs, those are all specific shots or maneuvers that you can train, and those form then your basic lines to base all your other movements on. Now, for me, there's a lot of things that don't work. So why that is, I don't know, but because I used to do a lot of Misa's training pack here. The air dribbles still work. Again, we just always do the same. And can reset whenever you want. You get like 3 different shots. You can change the side. So there's training packs for a lot of different things. Again, when you're new to the game, don't go for the crazy shit right away, because it will just be a waste of time. There's so many younger players that try to get the hang of some aerial funny crazy shit, manage to pull it off 2 or 3 times, then think they can do it regularly in a competitive mode, and then you see them fumbling, and then they have to return to goal or back post, and then they have no idea what they're doing in the back. So I don't know how they got to that level then, but if your basics are not in order, then you're still gonna lose most of the matches. And of course the basics include defense, because like I said before, if your opponent is stronger than you have to build from your defense up towards the other side. So you have casual and you have competitive, you have training. What didn't I get yet? So you have goalie training, striker training, and aerial training. Now these are packages made by Epic themselves. Very simple. So you get Rookie Pro All-Star. According to me, it's all underrated bullshit, because it's just too basic. I'll just put one up. This is for a kid of like 5 years old or something. I scored a goal. That's amazing. I love this game. You see. Now, I'm not saying it's useless, because well, that's that's hard. Oh shit. This training is a bit ridiculous, but there are some things that even if you're a more experienced player, that you can get something out of. So a normal player in this level would do like, oh shit, I wouldn't score it, and he won't have an idea, you know, because he's not used to the flicks of the car, the distances, how the boost acts, how the limits work. So he's just gonna try to jump into the ball, and that's his thing. And then the higher level is, the more boost you're gonna use, the more power you're gonna use, the more. Now you can use a simple shot to try and get placement out of it. Try to place it left, try to place it right. So you're gonna use the same simple setup practice, but you're gonna use it differently to get different approaches. You can also try and go for a flip reset here, like that. So you're ready for the rebound if the goalie gets your first touch. So there's different ways you can use an even too simple training pack, which is nice. So especially the aerial ones, even if you take the lower ranked ones, you can just try to incorporate the crazy shit you learned in getting better, and try to make different approaches on the ball or different treatments to the ball. So they're not totally obsolete, but they're oversimplified. So if it takes you longer than a week to just try and hit the ball somewhere and then try to get some good power in it, then maybe you should not play for another 5 years because you're probably 5 or 6. But anyway, the game is for everyone, so there's levels for everyone. And the tutorials are pretty weak, so don't even want to get near to those. But these are for kids of 6, 7 years old, and then it's all good. Um, so yeah, overall view for training is if the free play is the best play or the most used play by any levels. So it doesn't matter if you're training shots, hard shots, wall shots, specific mechanics, aerials, air dribbles, flip resets, anything. You can do anything in free play. And the best thing about free play is not specifically what you're training. So if I'm training an aerial, I'm training an air dribble towards the goal. And I'm doing something and it doesn't work. Trying to do it again. It doesn't work, didn't get a dribble. So I did two things and I failed at my target 2 times. But what is very important is what I did to recover from the fail, because that is what you're going to use the most in your competitive play or just your casual play until you reach that point where you got 100% control of what you were practicing and get that consistently in your gameplay. So in the free play, it doesn't matter what you're trying to practice. It's all the other things that you do in between and the things that you do to recover from failure that will make you a better player, because on the field, those are the exact things that you have to anticipate on when other people miss a ball, when you miss something, when something goes wrong, when something unexpected happens. So you're going to be a more prepared player, and you're going to be able to judge more situations better and quicker than anybody else, because you just practiced more situations and you've been in more situations, which gives your brain more calculations and more analytics and more conclusions to pull out of. So when I entered the game and I started playing, I wasn't speeding like a crazy guy, trying to go in the air and shit. I was just trying to defend the goal and score on the other side. Now, in doing that, I instantly became a level plat, and from there on, quickly got into diamond because my basic game was good. So my understanding of the strategies and the placement and the management of the team was already there, because I played a lot of other sports and games that that have that team play involved. Um, but again, you see players that lack basics in every level. Sometimes it's not being able to defend, not knowing how to rotate back to back post, not knowing how to rotate back to the back line, midline, not knowing how to lock a opponent on their side, going back too far for a boost, not locking the opponent on midline, like even not respecting rule one and shit like that. Um, so I covered the training, then the competitive and the tournaments. So again, you use the left casual block to get ready for the middle competitive block. And if you're in that competitive mode and you say, I can win matches, then you're ready for a tournament mode. So if those two don't happen, don't try that. If this doesn't happen, don't try that. If this doesn't happen, don't try those. So, first, practice, warm up, then casual play to see how you can pull it off and what you're doing. Try to get your rhythm of a match. If it's twos, threes, ones, doesn't matter. Once you win a match, then you see you're capable of controlling a match. Then you can go into competitive. And then you get the right mindset. Then you get a good, decent warm up. You warmed up privately with your ball contact, with your judgment of the hall, so your brain is set for all the calculations. Then you go into casual. You pull in other players that have all individual specific characteristic play for them. So it's not bots. It's not predictable. You have to judge what the player can do and what the ball can do at all times, which is a lot different than if it's bots. So when you notice that you can judge those things right and you can control the match, you're ready for competitive mode. And then 9 out of 10, you will win the matches because you're prepared. Tournament, same thing, but you need to enter with that competitive focus. You already almost already have to be in the zone to get through the tournament. Now, tournament is nice because if you play your first match and you're already warmed up, you're ready, and if you win your first match, your next match is gonna even be better, and then the next one's gonna be better. So the more you play with the same players, the better your team play will become. That's why if you have a good match, you just win automatically almost. And if it's a bad match, you're gonna lose. What is a good match and what is a bad match? A good match is matching players that have different approaches to the game, different mindsets, different playing styles. Because if you put three of the same together, they will all be in the same spot at the same time. So then you don't have play. Now they can force a spread play, but they are gonna want to do the same thing at all times. And you just notice it constantly. If there's a player that is playing exactly like your style, then he will go for the same defensive balls as you. He will go for the same attack balls as you. And it doesn't even matter where he's coming from or where you're coming from. It's just because you think alike. Of course, there's a lot of variety in human minds, 13 to be exact. So there's always someone that's better at playing in front that wants to be the scorer. Sometimes those players uh, have a big lack in defensive skills, which is 9 out of 10 the reason why they want to play in front, because they hate defending, because they suck at it. Now, it doesn't matter if you're a defender or if you're capable of defending, then 9 out of 10 you're a better player than the other player because he's avoiding something he doesn't like or knows he can't pull off 100% of the time. So there you got a little bit of a problem with some of the prominent Rocket League YouTubers that are suggesting that if you're the better player, that you should take control of the whole game and everything. And I can personally vow for that system not working at all. And if you're not playing with people you know or people you bought or sold or hired on a Discord server, that you're gonna lose if you're gonna try to do it all on your own. Because one, your two opponents won't match your level. They won't be at the locations that you want them to be at the right time. And if they're not there and you're not there to cover for their ass, it's going to be a goal for the opponent. And that happens 10 out of 10. So I'm a bit disappointed that some of the YouTubers at that high level are suggesting the wrong things for lower ranked players, especially if those players don't have a steady squad or a steady crew of players that they regularly play with. Of course, it's easier if you play with the same players all the time. You can inform each other about how you play, and they know what you're gonna do at some point. But if you're playing with randoms, you can get stuck with some guy that doesn't have half of the basics that he should have, or you can get stuck with a grand champ that's 3 levels higher than you, trying to level up. And it doesn't matter who you get matched up with. What matters is how you react. And I think that's an important thing about the game is your approach to the game. If you're not in a loving state of I would love to play this game. I'm ready. I want to have some fun. I want to be good. I want to be competitive. And if you're just coming out of a pattern play style of every day the same time, the same time, the same time, the same time, the same play, and you just had your dinner and you don't know what to do and you're bored and you say I might as well play Rocket League, then that's the wrong setting. Get out of the game, play something else. If you're not happy, if you're not 100% balanced, if you're not positive, then don't start. Because once other people start fucking up, you'll start getting angry at other people while it's your fault because you should be capable of dealing with it. If you can't deal with other people, don't fucking meet them. Now, I'm not saying that I'm super clean and all that because I probably have the biggest block list in the whole fucking game. I guess this will take you 30 minutes to get to see here. Just kidding. No, I'm not. It's not easy to not judge other people. That's why I just put them on block list. So I just don't want to see you anymore. Don't care. And it's not. I just don't do it random. I just put them up when I see that they minimally need like 3 or 4 or 5 years to get to the level that I would be able to say like, okay, I'll play a match with you. So I have no idea how they got in the level that I am to begin with, but that's their problem. So very, very, very important if you start playing anything other than training or warm up and you're going into a play with other players, make sure that you're happy, that you're positive, and that you're ready to lose. Because if you lose, you have to be able to carry it, to deal with it, to own it. This is why casual is important. This is why the difference between those settings in your brain is important. if you always play competitive, you never play warm up or casual, and you always say, "Oh, I'll just play Rocket League competitive." Boom, boom. Yeah, you're never gonna get out of gold. Once you start warming up, then go into casual play. See that your game is good, that you're happy, that. Then you can go into competitive. You're gonna win matches. If you lose, okay, next time you try again. So it's gonna be a lot easier, and your brain is going to use that competitive modus or setting to activate once you once you start going into casual play in the future. So if you keep that rhythm of warming up, going into casual, your brain will know, it's time to go into competitive mode. And then you can feel it. You're like, oh, I'm in the zone now. I get 100% focus. I don't have to think about my game. I can just let it happen, and I know where to be at which times when it's necessary to know it. And that's the difference. And if you always play the same shit every day without changing your intentions, then you never have that difference, and your brain will never be able to anticipate on any of the two settings. So if you then ask some players, you got some friends that bought the game, and so let's have a laugh, la 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 la, and you just play a little bit. Yeah, that's no problem. Yeah. So let's look at some other things. The private settings is for, like I said, like if you want to play with some friends. Now this is a very very interesting mode because you can put a lot of mutations on here. So you can put some funny shit on Rumble, but you can change the bounciness of the ball. So if you put it on super high, the ball is gonna bounce all over the place like crazy, like a bouncy ball or what they call it. What did I do? Size of the ball, you can make it gigantic. You can make a square of it. That. Can have different effects on it. Heavy, it's like an iron ball. It just drops to the floor right away. So it's really, there's the cue, the type of ball. You can get a hockey puck. Should be a baseball in there, like a little one, or a golf ball. It's hilarious. So this is, you can do some creative shit. You can combine different settings for some funny friend play. But you can also use it in slow motion. And this is something that they should have added to the casual, to the free play. But you can all only do it in a private play. So this is also if you want to warm up and you don't want to warm up in casual right away, so you can warm up against bots because bots are easier and they're easier to predict. So um, a lot of players tend to avoid the bots or bot play, and I'm against that because bot play is very constructive to your own play because again like I said about the boosts and the lines of the boosts and getting those patterns in your head, it's the same with the bots. What the bots do are basic movements, and but they are executing it almost to perfection. So if you're not gonna block a bot shot, it's gonna be on goal. You can be sure of that. The better your play is, the harder it's gonna be for the bot to get 100% shot on the goal. Now that being said, the bots have have levels. So if you put it on beginner, they're just total retards. So if you got a kid of 5 years old and he wants to play a little bit, that's the perfect setting. So it's great for all ages, and that gotta love that. So of course, anything above gold or plat, you're gonna want to play all star bots, because even though the highest ranked bots, they cannot go into the air, they cannot go on high onto the walls. So the bots have a lot of limitations, but again, that makes their play very basic. And basic means that you can use it a lot easier to calculate, to get the basic calculations of the basic lines that you already got the hang of it with learning them. So you should be able to overpower the bot at all times. And once you're better than the bot, you can just try to find different ways to to pass a bot, or to score on a bot. Because once you start scoring on bots, and it becomes easy, you can just challenge yourself by making it harder, by different by having different approaches on the ball and having different styles of shots, going for aerials, flip resets, and all that. So it doesn't matter if you play a bot or a real guy. If you're warming up, it's about your confidence and building that up for competitive play. Now, what I was going to was the slow mo function, and you switch the bots off, so you have no bots, so you're all alone in the field. And this will give you the same setting as a free play, only that the difference is it's not free play. So if you score, the ball will be reset in the center of the field, and you will have to have the countdown again every time. Now, even players at high levels use this mode to practice things that they are not familiarized with yet. So I use it momentarily to do the training for flip resets and everything that comes off the wall and roof. So what it does, it gives your brain more time to do the calculations and to see the options. And even if you fail in slow motion, your brain will use the calculations, and your brain will match your brain will just speed up your play and then compare it to all the other plays that you do in the real time speed, and then it will know which differences to adjust or not to fit into the right speed, so you'll be able to get it in the end anyway. But yeah, this is a lot easier to do complex things, so you have a lot more time to think about it. So your rotations and how what's my time, and how do I have to rotate my car, and how is it gonna react. So you see, should I turn left? Should I turn right? Should I keep boosting? Should I add boost? Yeah, that's something I would always include as a full percent on boost. So now I have to drive over the boost to get boost. That's yeah. It's even if you're a low ranked new player, it could be handy to just learn your power shots. And you get a full tank, and you see your boost, how it's gonna act. And you see when it's gonna pop into hyperspeed. You see it. When your trails activate, boom. That's a little more. That's also important to know when that happens, so you can use it to still get that speed before you get ahead of the ball. So you can use it to train anything, and a slower mode is giving your brain more time to calculate everything. And if you do that on a regular basis, just sped up version of your actions will be easier to do because your brain has the muscle memory, and it doesn't matter if you learn it slower or not. So the result will be the same. So it's a very handy tool, that one. What I want to like to add on that is that you just put your boost on unlimited, so you don't have to reload anything. So if you're training in slow mo, you can just focus on the actions that you're training without having to worry about the boost. So that's another handy tool that you don't have in the free mode. So most often when I do a training in slow mo and I train a specific movement or maneuver or mechanic, afterwards I just go into the free play, and I try to do the same movement, but then on normal speed, and it's uh, it's gonna be very funny because your brain is still used to the slow mo function. So everything you do then will be like you're speeding up everything, like while it's just normal speed. And then you notice the difference between the slow mo and the actual speed, and how fast you're actually playing, because it's actually pretty insane about how fast plays are going. Okay, so those are all so important points that I mentioned, and just just like putting these things into your play and approach to the game will already make you a lot of better player than you are if you are not doing it. Then we go into the. That's just if you want to host some own tournaments and all that. The offline mode, that's for home play also. So for the most competitive form, you have what was it, 4 or 5 tournaments a day. You can see the timings on the Rocket League website too. 'Cause sometimes they change. I think it's twice a year that they change of hour, that it moves up 1 hour, and then after a week or two, it goes back to the normal hour. So for me, it's 3, 5, 7, 9, and 11. Those are the hours of the tournament. So you get a twos, then you get a threes, then twos again, then threes again. Rumble is the next day, so that's tomorrow at 3. Then you go to the fives, it's 2 again, then 7 o'clock is threes again, 9 o'clock is twos again, 11 o'clock is threes again. Competitive mode. This is what you should be aiming at. This is your rank. This is what the game is actually. This is what it's all about. What's your rank? Yeah, this is your rank. Now there is a different tournament rank. If you see on the top right, my tournament rank is plat. It should be grand champ, but anyway. So you see, I'm not champ everywhere here, but most of them are. I'm diamond in twos. I don't play tools that regularly. Uh, if you want to play tools, you gotta be really, really, really up to your game and 100% in control of the game, uh, so you can cover for a bad player that joins you. And if you can do that, then you're just still gonna win the match. But it's, of course, it's a lot easier if you have a friend that you know, or if you have someone that you can warm up and train with and then go into competitive. So I'd like to stay away from that until I have someone that I like to play with on more occasions. Standard is a bit more safer if you want to play competitive, but you're warmed up, but you're not that good, and you still want to get a little better, or you still want that competitive match feeling. You can still count on at least one of the other two players to be at least a little bit good enough to to get the win. And even if you have one bad player, you should be able to get a win. Random with random spoken, and if you're just queuing with randoms. Of course, if you play trees with people that you regularly play with, it's gonna be a lot easier. So playing with people that you regularly play with puts you automatically levels you up one or two levels. So if I'm plat 2 here in trees and I'm gonna play with two of my friends that are somewhat of the same level than me, then we're gonna play at a diamond 3 level, so we're gonna win matches. And that's just how much a difference. Twos, it's slightly more difficult to do that. Ones, it's not one of my favorite game modes, but I must say that if you're a Rocket League player and you consider yourself someone that loves the game and wants to get the hang of the most things that are to be controlled in the game, it's kind of a must do because it puts you in a situation that you would otherwise not put yourself in, even though the one-on-one situation happens in competitive or casual play constantly. Because if you're in a 3v3 and you're coming out of a defensive play and someone of the opponent is going to defend high in the attack on your goal, once you pass him, there's only two left. Once you pass the second one, there's only one left. So it's 3 times a 1v1. So if you got the skills to pass a guy and the other guy doesn't have the skill to avoid your pass or to block your pass, and you pass 3 guys, then you get an open goal. And that's as simple as it is. Now, most players are not able to pass 3 guys, because then you're playing at 4 levels higher. Because the higher your level is, the better the defender will be. So the defender will have a better judgment at what the offending player is going to do or is able to do. Like if you put a grand champ in a gold level match, he knows that the gold level player is not gonna go up the roof with the ball. He knows that he's not gonna stiff it up the air, fly after the ball and control it and flip reset it into goal. So you can eliminate thousands of moves that the opponent is not gonna be able to do. And that gives you, of course, a giant advantage because you can eliminate all those all those options. So if I'm the defender and I see the opponent and I can see he's not gonna do an aerial flip reset or a roof approach or wall, even wall jump, then I can eliminate 50% of the whole arena because he's not gonna go up. So that gives your opponent a 50% disadvantage because you already know what he can do, and he maybe still doesn't know what you can do. So in the end, it just comes down to how predictable the opponent is, and that's what differentiates your level. So I think I covered all of that. Oh no, you have the extra modes here. Now, the extra modes are they're fun. Um, some are more funny than the others. Some are like Rumble is my favorite. I even like it more than just normal play because it's just so intricate. The options are just so vastly more wide, and the calculations are so much more crazy that it's for a mathematician it's just so challenging, and it's just such another step above the normal play of a normal game, um, which is in the end will also be functional because you're experiencing things that you won't experience in any of these uh, above modes, which gives your brain a vastly more a bigger capacity of calculations and algorithms that it can use when you're going into those normal plays. So because Rumble is so crazy, you're gonna do shit that you normally wouldn't never do if you just play these normal things. And then you get the hang of those, and then you can pull those experiences into your normal play. And then if you face an opponent that has no Rumble knowledge, and you use a Rumble mechanic or Rumble approach or Rumble strategy, then your opponent will be beaten in advance because he doesn't know that that will be in your package. Now, for Rumble, it's very intricate, it's very detailed, it can be very specific, very nanosecond, long lasting, very small actions. But, like, for example, a good example is Drop Shot, where, for example, your approach to the ball is very important, and it's not so much getting to the ball first that counts, but in drop shot, it's even more how do I get to the ball second? So instead of trying to win your 50-50, you're going to try to lose it. So you're going to try to delay your approach. That means that in drop shot, you have to protect your side, make sure that the opponent doesn't get the ball on your side. So anywhere the ball is, there will always be an attacker on it and a defender on it. And if you're the defender, you are going to want to hit the ball after the attacker does it. So if you have the block, you are going to put the ball on their side. If they are attacking and you hit the ball first as a defender, and he's gonna block you, then he's gonna score right away. So that's why it's important to have a delayed approach in drop shot. So imagine the ball's in the middle, two players go for it, opponent and defender, and you're both using boost to get to the ball first. But once you're close to the ball and you see the other opponent closing up, you're gonna try to be last. And that's hilarious because at the start you're both using your boost at full potential so you can get first on the ball. But once you get close to the ball, they're gonna delay their approach and get rid of the boost and even try to flip around and try to delay your contact with the ball, so you're gonna have the block instead of the first hit, so the other one gets the block. And once you get the hang of that, you can again use it in the normal game modes. So then your gameplay is gonna be expanded again. So instead of doing the ball approaches you normally do in any of the game modes, when you go for a 50-50, and you see that you're not gonna make it first, or you're not gonna make it first to the ball, having a shot without a block, so you know that the other one is gonna be able to block your shot, and you're not able to shoot it to the other side or to the wall to avoid his contact or his block. Once you know that, you can start delaying your approach so he will get the first shot, so you get the offensive block on his defensive clear. And that's when you get your drop shot mechanics into the normal play, and then your opponent will just be beaten. And otherwise, if you would normally be playing the normal modes without playing drop shot, you would never have done that. You would have always gone for that 50-50, and when you're on the wrong judgment, the other one will have the block on your first, being first on the ball, and then the block could lead to a pinch in your goal, or to an offensive counter and a goal on your side. So playing the other modes will automatically make you a richer player with a bigger arsenal of mechanics and judgment of ball approaches. You would say that it's the same for basketball, but I wouldn't say that because it's a different arena. Even the walls are seem to have a thicker width to it. Like it's a transparent wall, so the only thing you see are the bars that keep the wall up. And but the wall thickness is bigger, so your ball is gonna bounce back earlier than if you would play in a normal arena. And that sucks because that will fuck up your judgment of ball responses in normal arenas. So then it becomes a task for your brain to lock off the basketball arena and not use those data that it has from analyzing the play to compare with any of the other arenas, because it has nothing to do with it, because the walls don't match up, the thickness of the walls doesn't match up. So I don't know why they did it. I'm very against that, but I hope they can fix it in the future. But Then one more thing for Rumble. So in Rumble, you also have different arenas that vary from the normal playing arenas. Now, I'm not a supporter of it. I just rather see them go. But they do give extra dimension, and some of them can have some funny or interesting moments in it because of the specific shape of the arena. But all it does is clutter the data in your mind because they are very hard to relate to other plays or other moments that you have in normal arena matches. So yeah, I prefer Rumble in a normal arena at any time. I think I've had all of that. So those are very, very, very significant settings that you have to own yourself and that you have to try to manage yourself and try to take attention to those things, and so you can after a while evaluate how your play evolved. Because if you're never looking back and you're never comparing your play towards where you came from, then you won't see the progress, and it's all the progress that should be the stimulant of your next play, right? But yeah, everyone sees when they're getting better. So, but these points I put up will just automatically make it a lot more easier for your brain, and the more you command your brain to make differences between certain modes or certain plays or certain approaches, the easier it will be for your brain to manifest it when you need it in a competitive play. All right, so that's my point of view on how you approach the game and how you play it. Thanks for watching.